So this rat's nest of cables and stuff is my stage rig. This is what I take with me when I am working on a dub stage. And it basically allows me to do everything that I need to do, including effects editorial, and I can also mix with this rig because of this powerful little Mac Mini, which will handle everything that I do. I'm just going to go through each component here and explain what's doing what. So this is the brain. This is the new M4Pro Mac Mini. I've got it mounted with Velcro upside down so that I have access to the power button, which doesn't seem to make much of a difference if it's upside down or not. In fact, I think the access to the cooling air is probably better if it's upside down. So there's that. And next to that I have a 2 terabyte hard drive. This is my headphone amp. This is the Grace M9XX, which I got a long time ago on a mass drop deal. It allows me to do 2 headphones at a time, so I can do closed back for working on the stage when I need it to be quiet, and I can also do the Sony VME headsets, and I can have them simultaneously. Other than that, it's just a volume knob basically, and that goes out. If you can see, it goes to an optical connection back here, and then it's powered by this USB connector here. Underneath that I've got the hard drive. This is my Resilia hard drive that I use with Skywalker because they have a special system and this is their drive. So this Grace fortunately does not generate any heat, so I have no problem putting it right up against it here, and it's velcroed there, so if I actually need, if there is heat issues, then I can just velcro it out and pull it out. And then over here I've got the DAD Core 256. This is an upgrade or a downgrade depending on what you consider, from the Matrix Studio, which is what I used to have in this rig. The Matrix Studio took this whole bottom layer and I wasn't using the analog outputs at all. So I sold it and I got this, and it's perfect because it's got Dante and it's got MADI on it and optical, so I can send the optical out. It doesn't have headphone out, unfortunately, but I solved that with the ADAT optical going out to this headphone. So it takes up more real estate, but I can spread it out a little bit. On top of that I have a backup hard drive. This is just a 4 terabyte SSD. On top of that I have my Thunderbolt distribution. I've got 3 little Thunderbolt connectors here. One goes to this drive, one goes to this drive, and then I've got an open one for whatever. On top of that I've got 4 USB 3 that holds my iLock, and this powers the Grace, and then I've got a couple open ones for charging my keyboard and mouse. And then next to that I've got power. This is basically 3 power things that I use to power this, and this. Yeah, so these 3 things get power directly from this. This is the Sonnet NVMe Echo Duo, and inside this I've got 2 8 terabyte NVMe sticks, which holds my sound effects library, which is very large. So it's about 15 terabytes in size right now, so I'll eventually have to upgrade that. But then all of this stuff is just sort of like the wiring. I've got it all sort of clustered together and zip tied so that it's tight. And then I connect this to the Core 256 back here, and this goes, this is my Dante connection, so this actually goes right into this little RJ45 jack, and there's that. So that goes Dante from the computer into the Core 256. And then I had to mod this tray. I had to cut out this little edge here because I've got the power supply, if you can see in there, the power supply for the Core 256. So when I slide it in, this doesn't look like this big noodly mess here. It actually looks pretty tight. So I'm gonna put it in and you can see how it looks then. And here it is, all tucked away in its nice little 2-space rack. It actually looks pretty clean, you know, coming from the front. You know, all the things are pretty tight. This is Velcroed, so it's sort of a little loose. It sort of hangs in there, but I kind of need to have it be loose because if the heat starts to affect this drive, I need to be able to pull this headphone amp out and just sort of rest it on the desk. But all this stuff is solid. This stuff has no heat issues. This stuff is all good. And in the back, if I turn it around, and here's what it looks like from the back. So there's a couple of things kind of sticking out a little bit, but the lid actually has a few inches on it. So I usually don't have to disconnect things. I do disconnect this because I don't want it to strain. This is the USB-C to Ethernet adapter that plugs into the Dante of the Core 256. So, you know, I just sort of let it hang back there while I'm working, and then I disconnect it when I'm traveling. And yeah, other than that, quick, easy access to the back of the Mac. Lots of cool air can come in and out from here and from the front. This drive seems to be okay. It doesn't generate too much heat. And this is the power cable out. So it's pretty clean, you know. It works.